Hey, well, hello everyone, and welcome to our seminar on keeping your business cyber secure. I'm Lisa Johnson, president of the Bossier Chamber of Commerce, and we are broadcasting this on Facebook Live, and we'll be monitoring the questions here on Zoom as well as on Facebook. You can ask a question anytime, and we'll try to ask it in a timely manner. And then, as typical and as we normally have, we have Jessica Hemingway, who's the vice president of the Bossier Chamber. She is our producer for today. And so she's in the background making sure everything is okay. And she is also here at the chamber and will be asking questions for you. But if you're on Zoom, we ask that you unmute when your question is read so that you can interact with our speakers. So we want this to be as personal as possible. Allow me to introduce our presenter today. We have Blaine Brunn. He is the project director with the Louisiana Cyber Education Center. And also on the call is Sandra Harvey, the Associate Vice Chancellor of Workforce Solutions for Bossier Parish Community College. Stephanie Strick, who is the Director of Customer Services for Cybid Solutions. Welcome, Stephanie, all the way from Kansas. And these ladies will also be taking your questions. So thank you for joining us today. And now, Blaine, I'm going to turn it over to you and your team. Tell us how to be proactive and keep our business cyber secure. Welcome today.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to share my screen. So good morning. Can everyone see my screen? Well, thank y'all for being here. I want to tell you more about the Louisiana Cyber Education Center. And so I'm going to play a quick clip that'll kind of give you some background.
Bossier Parish Community College has long led the state in cybersecurity education. Designated as a Center of Workforce Excellence in Cyber Technology and recognized as a Center of Academic Excellence by the NSA, the Computer Technology Department has 4 full associate's degrees and a number of short-term credentials. Through the Louisiana Cyber Education Center, designated by the governor in 2019, we can offer online and in-person non-credit and industry-driven training statewide.
So this is another great example of a whole state approach to cybersecurity that's happening right here in this region. And this is one of those areas where Louisiana really is leading the way in the country. Other states are amazed at what we have going on here.
The Louisiana Cyber Education Center, housed at Bossier Parish Community College, is the premier cybersecurity training destination for the state. We offer training very low level for essentials for all employees, all the way up to a completely trained cybersecurity analyst. This is powered by Cybid, one of the premier cybersecurity trainers in the world. We offer almost all of this training online or also in person here. We have a beautiful facility, completely set up for capture the flag and war game type events. 3 training rooms separated for teams, all powered through VDI. We offer a complete virtual cyber range that allows to build simulations. We have pre-canned simulations that cover most of the cybersecurity issues that are currently going on in the world. We think this is going to greatly grow cybersecurity training in the area, expand a skill set that we all need to grow the workforce in Northwest Louisiana.
Okay, so as Lisa said, my name is Blaine Brunn. I'm the project director for the Louisiana Cyber Education Center. And as discussed in that video, the governor declared the Louisiana Cyber Education Center as a sister organization to BIPSI in 2019. So I show this picture because it illustrates what we're really trying to accomplish. You have Brian Dickens with Cybin Solutions, who's an industry partner on the left, and Dr. Bateman, who's our chancellor at BIPSI on the right. And this is really what we see the LACEC as being, a partnership for industry, and a partnership for education, whether that be for businesses or educational institutions throughout the state. So I'm sure everyone has heard the term cybersecurity. If you hadn't, I'd be shocked. Cybersecurity refers to measures taken to protect electronic information, whether it be a business or educational institution. It's something that's really applicable to anyone that touches the internet. And so here are all the statistics that you'll see from any and every cybersecurity presentation. We'll touch on a few of them throughout the presentation, but you can see this is becoming more and more problematic as cybercrime continues to increase. Even if you aren't considered an expert in the field, it's likely that you're hearing something about it on the news, whether it be local or national. Because it affects every entity, school systems, industries, even government. Unfortunately, the cost of a data breach can be a very heavy burden. And this is, of course, independent from the size of the victim. I mean, it could be a huge cost for a Walmart or a Target or other Fortune 500 companies. But it can really be much more impactful for small businesses and ultimately be the reason why that small business doesn't perform well or even, God forbid, shut down. So one of the data points that we're seeing is that the workforce isn't equipped with the tools to minimize the risk. As businesses innovate, so do cyber threats, and the gap is only widening. So we show this slide a lot. We look at the LACEC as being a tiered training ecosystem based on the number of hours of training. As the number of hours progress, so does the job. The top level jobs are part of the non-credit side, which is what we're talking about today. You might have bank tellers who don't need training on bank telling, but need training on cybersecurity. There's also cybersecurity professionals out there that need to be upskilled. So now we're going to talk about two specific offerings the LACEC is rolling out with. One is available to register for right now, and we'll be holding those workshops at the end of this month in mid-April. The other offering we're looking at has a launch date in June. The first one is the Cybent Cyber Bootcamp. Again, we're targeting a June launch date, but it prepares learners at any level of IT understanding, from entry level to general IT experience for those in general cybersecurity careers. It's 480 non-credit hours that's delivered in two ways. One, full-time, which is 3 months, and part-time, which is 6 months. Graduates will acquire all necessary technical and soft skills, ending with a job interview prep to secure any of these jobs. It also aligns with the NIST and all the NIST framework outlined in cybersecurity. This training can be for existing IT professionals within your business, as well as retooling existing employees that want to make that jump or crossover. And we can offer demonstrations to people or businesses that are interested in the boot camp. So feel free to reach out to myself or Lisa or Jessica, and we'll get that set up for you. The second offering we're going to be talking about today is the Cyber Essentials Workshop. It's really for those non-security analysts. This is for your other employees outside IT. And I have a fun video I want to share with you right quick that I think you're going to enjoy.
Talking about cybersecurity today and how safe people's passwords are. What is one of your online passwords currently?
It is my dog's name and the year I graduated from high school.
Oh, what kind of dog do you have?
I have a 12 Papillon,
And what's his name?
Jameson.
Jameson. And where did you go to school?
I went to school back in Greensburg, Pennsylvania.
What school?
Hempfield Area Senior High School
Oh, when did you graduate?
in 2009.
Oh, great.
It's like my cat's name and then just like a random number.
Okay. Have you had this cat for a while?
Yeah, she's my childhood pet.
Aw. And what's her name?
Her name is Jolie.
Jolie. So like a password of yours would be Jolie and then a number.
Yeah.
Like number 1.
Like my birthday,
Oh, when is your birthday?
June 12th.
Oh, nice. And what year were you born?
95.
Oh, great. So Jolie, 6, 12, 95.
Yes.
Got it.
So you mean to give my password right now? No, I cannot do that.
But we all want to know what it is so we can tell you if it's strong or not.
Oh my goodness. Let me think. Okay, one is Tel Aviv. Yeah. 468, and then Israel. It's only 3, but it's for me it's strong enough.
Ireland, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gemma, 1, 2, 3. Spelled Gemma.
Well, most of them are Italian.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Like
So
what? Like what's a good Italian password?
my grandma's name,
What's your grandma's name?
Maria.
Maria. So Maria is your password?
Oh yeah, now you know my password. Oh yeah.
And so it's funny, but it really does boil down to that in a lot of ways. If you talk to IT professionals or people who deal with cybersecurity, hacks like ransomware and malware or phishing, I mean, the majority of those threats are not coming from highly trained nation states that are trying to break through multiple firewalls. I mean, they're going after the weakest link in the organization. The person who would plug a random USB drive they found, or the person who clicked on the link in an email because it said they won the lottery. The Cyber Essentials Workshop teaches awareness to understand that cybersecurity threat and how it affects not only that individual, but also that organization he or she is with.
So Blaine, what you're really telling us is don't go on TV shows and tell all your password secrets.
That's right. And so, just to kind of throw out a statistic, 95% of cybersecurity breaches are caused by human error. And so, it breaks down like this. So it's fully online with 4 hours of instructor-led virtual training. And then you have access to the Essentials training platform for a year. It's a learn at your own pace. You even learn of new emerging threats. You can continue to build on the skills and the understanding of cybersecurity that you acquired in that first 4-hour workshop. We've also offered this kind of in a beta cohort. We've completed almost 400 people through the Cyber Essentials training, and all the feedback from people who did and didn't really have a clear understanding said the design of the instruction was helpful. One of the biggest gripes that you get with cybersecurity awareness training is that it doesn't change the behavior like it says it will. Well, why is that? A lot of us have this idea that it can't happen to me. And it doesn't really matter how many videos I watch or how much I learn. Ultimately, it can't happen to me. And that's one of the things that makes our workshop different. The workshop is specifically designed with behavioral conditioning first and cyber second. Inside the workshop is remote. Well, inside the workshop, it's remote. That's instructor-led for 4 hours. It's actually showing them how they can be hacked from social media or through their Wi-Fi. We start with that individualism because it's very important for them to understand it can happen to them, and it can happen to your organization, and it can happen to your clients or your customers. So we use multiple examples, quizzes, and assessments so that they become conditioned. And there's also measurables within the platform that track how they're behaving versus how they're reacting. We understand a lot of times these programs tend to be more a reaction or part of a corrective action plan. But our Essentials Workshop is really that investment on the front end that'll pay dividends in return. Again, 95% of all cybersecurity breaches are caused by human error. And so those are the offerings that we have to talk about today. We're happy to answer questions that you might have. The first two workshops will be March 31st and April 14th. We're also in discussion with a local entity that's wanting to do an exclusive class. So we can make those resources available to you if you're wanting to do an exclusive class for all your employees. Do y'all have any questions?
So if one person wanted to sign up for the class, they can on their own, but obviously today, because we're talking to business people, I know you do encourage businesses to sign up all of their employees so that they can be more cyber aware. But if I on my own wanted to sign up, then I could also contact you the same way, correct?
Absolutely. If it's something that you're just kind of wanting to go through to see if it's a good fit for your company, we certainly encourage anyone and everyone to sign up. But if it's something that you're wanting to sample for yourself, absolutely you can sign up. Now you will be in class with other people, but sometimes that's a good thing because you see a large diversity questions that come towards the end. So we encourage that.
So Katie asked, are there night classes? It's virtual, but it's instructor led. So are there certain times that it is offered?
Sure. So there are certain times that it's offered. Right now, the March 31st class, so they're in 4-hour blocks. The March 34 class is from 8 to noon, and the April 14th class is from 1 to 5.
And that does lead to business. That's really conducive to a business, obviously, wanting to make the investment.
Correct. And so if it's something that you have a large group that can wanting to do it after hours or after normal business hours, we might be able to have some flexibility with that and work with you on that.
Okay. So Lisa asks, are programs like Norton and malware and things we have on our computer, are they no longer good enough, or are they just not enough?
Sure. So I would tell you that, first of all, those programs do a good job of what they're designed to do. But where the issue comes in is the human error aspect of it. And again, you might have an email that goes to your spam box, but you're going through your spam box. And if there's a link that you click on that link, that's really when you become vulnerable.
So I have a story. At my last job, I opened a PDF from somebody I've emailed multiple times, and I needed it. Like I basically requested the information, I guess I would say. And so they sent the PDF to me, and I opened it, and it crashed my entire business's system. It was not from a source I didn't know. It wasn't a random link in my email, but it was a major problem. And so I'm sure in retrospect there are tips or whatever for that, or maybe there are programs that would read those before opening for viruses. It's been a while, so I don't remember if we did or didn't have certain protections on the computers at my work, but our computers were down 4 days. It was a very big issue. There was a ransom, a Bitcoin situation. It was not good. It was not a place that could pay for all of that. So even when you think you're being careful, there are still instances where you are vulnerable. So I'm sure that you talk about this in your curriculum, but I just thought maybe you would like for me to tell you a personal story where, this is real. It happened.
Sure. And we actually do, more to your point, Jessica, we actually do cover specific examples like that. These phishing attacks are becoming more and more sophisticated. And so we go over preventative measures so that doesn't happen to you or to your business that you work for.
Yeah, it was not good. Not good. I'm sorry. I think there was another question. Stephanie, as kind of the force behind this center, did you have anything you wanted to add? I mean, I know this is in our community and it's housed at BIPSI, which we love. But Sybent, I mean, you're a very important part of this. Do you want to kind of tell us about your role in the center or have anything else to add?
Sure. So I lead at Sybent. I lead partnerships and customer success for Sybent here in the United States. So what I do with LASEC, luckily I've been in contact with many there at Bossier Parish for about 3.5 years before they even launched the Cyber Center. And as you all know, or maybe you don't know, but they're amazing people that are on the forefront nationally in getting in front of this cyber situation. They were some of the first people that reached out to us after meeting us at a NICE conference. So I just want you all to feel confident out there in your area that Bossier Parish is ahead of most of the nation in trying to tackle this. So what Sybent is, I just want to let you all know what Sybent is. So Sybent is founded in Tel Aviv, and the CEO of our company was the lead trainer for the Israeli Defense Forces. He took, I would call them kids, but he took students out of high school at age 18 and got them trained up to be cyber intelligence analysts for the military, spying on Iran and Iraq and globally to protect Israel. As you know, they're one of the most hated nations, unfortunately, in the world. So that's why they're a leader in cyber, right? They had to protect themselves. Well, they want to help the world because cyber is such a problem. So what our founder did was he developed these training programs, and he wanted to take two angles. He wanted to take the boot camp because there's a cyber problem where there aren't enough skilled employees that can take the cyber roles. We need people in America and globally to be cybersecurity analysts. By the way, these analysts and these entry-level cyber jobs are amazing. They pay anywhere from $60,000 to $70,000 starting, and they just go up from there as people build additional skills. So it's a great career path for somebody that is techie, that likes that. But somebody out of high school can get into this, somebody transitioning from military, or maybe you have employees in your IT department that want to move on and you trust that person. So you decide, hey, I want to get them trained in this cyber role because I know they're great and then they can help my company. So I'm kind of all over the place, but I just wanted you to understand that that was the one angle, that there's all these unfilled cyber jobs, and that's what the boot camp is for. And that's why LASEC is offering it this summer, is they want to help the area. Although it is offered remote, I believe, right? Or it can be offered remote. So if you are outside of the Shreveport area, you could always link in on Zoom to be part of the boot camp or have an employee do that. And then the other aspect that Roy talked about was the human error. And because they're cyber intelligence experts, they're about behavior changing and analyzing behavior. So they analyze what hackers do and how they trick people to give them information or have information out there on the internet, especially Facebook, Instagram. People overshare so much information and they use that information as their passwords and stuff. And so somebody that was trying to hack you could probably find out a lot about you just by searching your social media profiles, unfortunately, especially younger people in today's world. So anyway, those are the two avenues we're working on right now. That's a little bit about Sybent. You know, while we're a global company, we started in Israel out of that Israeli Defense Force. Jessica, does that
Yes.
give a good idea? Was that helpful?
I thought that was great information. I mean, we are so glad to have this center located right here in Bossier City, obviously, and so you're helping that is tremendous. But you're right, we are so excited that we have this emerging new workforce, and we have jobs here, and we have training. Not only just through this center, but I mean our institutions as well. And so we're really grabbing a hold of this and want to continue to be a leader in this. And so you're right, like all of that is kind of what we're about. I feel like right now in Bossier, and we're just trying to continue to grow it over and over and over. And so not only do we want, like you were saying, the professionals, but we also want, of course, people who are just working like me, through email and Microsoft Word and Adobe to know, like, here are the things you should and shouldn't do to protect your business. I mean, we all can't be cybersecurity professionals, but we can be more literate. So,
Jessica, can I add to that?
yes, please.
So,
It's
and
Paul
I think it's
from
such a
Bossier Parish
demand.
Community
Yeah,
College.
there's such a demand. It's that some companies can't wait 4 years to fill these positions, and so having the boot camp in a compressed manner that goes over the objectives that a company or employer would need, that's critical. And then at the same point, Sandra and Megan and Wes and Blaine and I and Stephanie, before we put our name on anything at Bipsy, we will always want to make sure that we pilot and we work out any kinks. And so we've done just that. We brought on a couple of years ago, and we did some pilots where General Dynamics and ECS and I'm drawing a blank on some of the other IT companies, but we wanted them to see the Cybent platform, and the results we got were overwhelmingly positive. And of all the research we did, looking at various training platforms, this one was the one that kept coming back, and we said this is the one we want to partner with, because they not only trained up the IT specialists, but they trained up us on the call who are the non-IT folks who can oftentimes be the weak link. So I say all that to say that we want to make sure what we're providing is quality, and I think people that enroll in the boot camps, they're going to see that's quality. The ones who do the cyber essentials, that it's going to go over the things and it's going to reinforce what they're learning, because they're actually going through the process, they're thinking it through, they're not just looking at a PowerPoint. And so it's going to be rich of content and experience. So we're excited to do that, and really to partner with anyone on the call. And then for those who weren't able to join the call, even how you can help us, just spread the word with it. I do see a message from Katie about the younger generations. I mean, I think at this point we're just trying to build the workforce. So, high school, college, out of college, we're that boot camp. We can bring on whoever.
So you're saying it is conducive to maybe like high school and up?
Actually, Blaine and I have had multiple conversations about summer camps. So we actually have two groups of students in our mind, right? You think of the adult layperson who is the business person who's non-IT, and then you also think of those cybersecurity professionals. But when we looked at the broader landscape, we then all started to think about, well, these are behaviors we want young people to grow up thinking this is just your average way to behave on the computer or on the internet. So we did have discussions about possibly having summer camps. Oddly, we've had a couple of young people look at the material and in high school and are like, we already know this. So we have to find that sweet spot of the student. Maybe it's younger. Maybe it's a 5-year-old with their mom. That might be the way that we go about this, but we're trying to explore almost that younger end, because it has become much more commonplace for them in understanding their behavior. So that's why we have focused on the adult population. However, we're completely open to that as a possibility. Ideally, we would like cyber education, cybersecurity education, to be part of everyone's education. So when you're in a business class in college, that should just be part of your curriculum. And so we have content that's available that can be embedded, that instructors can use in that way. And that's what we're hoping to, at some point, also integrate into K through 12 education. We would love for that behavior just to be stranger danger, that now goes into the cybersecurity world as well.
Well, you've hit the nail on the head, because as soon as you started talking about younger, I just thought our school districts have just handed probably first grade and up a computer because of COVID last year and virtual learning. And so it's not just, our high school students who need to know it. I mean, my niece and nephew are 7 and 8, and they're, not computer literate. Not only just in typing, but like they have no clue what they should and shouldn't be clicking on, obviously, as well. And they have to make passwords, and I mean, all of it. So you're right. I mean, the age range is almost, as soon as you're on any device, it's crazy. I don't see any more questions. We had a comment on Facebook Live about how he says, as a military member, boot camps with on-the-job training make up for 4-year degrees. And we agree, on-the-job training obviously is a great tool in general, but that's kind of the point of this too. This boot camp can help get people up to speed without needing a degree for at least, a good competency level, right? So, and then you have your expanded one that's even more so. Okay. Does anybody else have any more questions?
And so I just want to add one more point. So I guess I'll send this to you, Jessica. But we'll send information out on how you can get signed up, where to go, the rates for the different classes, all that information we'll get over to you.
Okay. And we will send that out. And if anybody is on Facebook and sees this video either live or after, if you just want to drop your email address in the chat, or that's probably not allowed. So maybe if you want to send us a private message, then we'll send you an email with the information as well. We're happy to share that and make sure everyone gets the information they need. So Blaine, thank you so much. And then Stephanie and Sandra for joining us today. And then Paul, he jumped in and gave us great information as well. So thank you all for joining us today. But again, if y'all have any additional questions, I'm happy to send them over to the team. But we will be sending out more information about this program to all of you who are participating. So thank you very much.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks.